I'm so nervous for this. Can you guys hear me? Uh, can you hear me? Can you see me? Is this working? Oh my god. Okay. Oh, exciting. Um, Hello everyone. Oh, Lorcan's here. Hello everyone. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Annabelle. Some of you know me as Wandering Death when I hang out in, my private time on Rob's streams and other streams. But if you don't know me, I'm Annabelle. I'm the director and founder behind Modular Realms. I make kind of magnetic double-sided tiles that sort of snap together. You put minis on them and it's for D&D. Oh, is it a little glitchy? There is a Kickstarter, and I forgot to make the stream command, like a complete nincompoop. Could my overworked apprentice elf put the link in the chat for the Kickstarter? By the way, if you don't know, the overworked apprentice elf is also known as my mum. And the overgrown dwarf who's... Oh my gosh! Sorry, I've just seen that my cousins are just in here. I haven't modded my dad. My dad is the overgrown dwarf. Sorry, it might have to be Mum that puts the link in. Anyway, yeah, so professional. Oh, that's so cool. Sorry, I'm just so excited to see so many familiar faces. Thank you for coming. So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about my terrain that I make. I'll be painting this to look a bit like the marble effect that you might have seen on different social media posts or in the Kickstarter video, and answering any questions people have. So yeah, and if you've just randomly come and you don't know that I have a Kickstarter, I have a Kickstarter for this terrain that's going on at the moment. So it's magnetic, double-sided. This one I've already painted the other side. I was kind of going for like an Egyptian theme. I'm like, yeah, don't have them to hand, but I had a load of mummies. Ah, there you go. But it's kind of Egyptian, I reckon. Yeah, we'll see. Ah, look at that. Thanks for the link. Okay. So... let's go. So, painting the marble, I have given this a quick prime. So, just because no one has time to watch me spray prime everything and then wait 2 hours. So, I did prime it yesterday. I primed it with like just a spray primer I got from Bunnings. Bunnings, if you're not a New Zealander, is a DIY place like B&Q or Homebase. So basically just a primer. No, all the terrain that's sold on Kickstarter is, well, most of it comes unpainted, so it comes just like these, or, there's different surfaces, like there's wood or cracks, and then there's a few painted tiers. There's an amazing mini painter in Scotland called Michael Mordor, and he's doing a Patron of the Arts tier, which I believe is already sold out. But the Champion tier comes unpainted, but he will do painted. Otherwise, they all come unpainted because, yes, exactly, it would have been a massive job. Like, yeah, I did a few painted pledges last year because people asked me to, and oh my gosh, like the time it took. And I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I don't like to give something out unless it's like super good. And when you're painting something like, yeah. So mostly it's unpainted. A lot of it's easy to paint actually. I was gonna, for the first one, because marble's such a difficult one to do, I was like, should I do marble for the first stream? But it is the one most people are interested in. I had thought, I'll do the painting the wood for the first stream, because it's so easy. You just spray it brown and then you put a wash over the top. It's like 2 steps and it's done. Like, you can literally do it in an hour, an entire pack. It's brilliant. But so I haven't washed the tiles before priming. I know that it's often recommended, and probably if I was a better mini painter, I would. I didn't because I'm lazy, and so far I haven't had any problems with chipping or with the paint not sticking because of oils or residues. But probably if I was going to recommend it to someone else, I'd say, oh yeah, wash it before you prime it just in case. Just because that's the advice everyone gives. But I haven't done that, and I haven't found a problem yet. So, am I using acrylics? I am. I'm using a mixture of all sorts of things, but mostly acrylics. I'm also, for the marble one, I'm a huge fan of the Army Painter washes. So, those chaps. Now, it would have been cunning for me to take a palette, wouldn't it? But never mind. So when I start with the marble, I've done it before with acrylics, but I found I really like using the wash just to do some of the darker lines. Oh, no worries. I really like talking to people, so, you know. Also, oh my gosh, I've just seen we have 13 people. That's so cool. Oh my god, you guys are the best. So, when I do the marble, the first thing I'm going to want to do after priming it is I'm going to want to do, you know those thin kind of lines you get in marble, the kind of veins? So that's what I'll be doing now. And I'm using quite a small brush. To be honest, it's quite a cheap brush because, you know, I don't do things properly when I paint. But so far I haven't had a problem. I got it from a local emporium shop, Jeff's Emporium. They do like all the best like odds and ends of material and leathers and buckles and things. And yeah, so that's where I get all my paintbrushes because they're so cheap and they're actually really nice. So you can see I'm doing like just very faint lines. There's no real plan because I'm holding it as lightly as possible. I don't know if everyone's hands shake when they're doing things lightly. Mine does. But in this case, it's quite nice to have it shaky because it gives it a sort of watery effect, or like, you know, a less rigid kind of look. Or at least I like it. Part of the reason why I like painting the marble ones is because they're so forgiving. Like, it's one of those things that if you do it wrong, you just dab another layer over the top. And then the more layers you put up, people go, oh, that looks really good. Oh, you've put so much work into that. And you think, oh, I just made loads of mistakes. But, you know, that's fine. If they can't tell, was it a mistake? Oh my gosh. So, I'm just doing little sort of veiny lines. This is probably going to be me for the next 10 minutes. The plan is, once we've got all the different veiny lines over the different marble pieces, I will be doing another wash, and I'm going to mix it with water on my brush so it gets a bit more diluted, and kind of do it going up to the lines. You'll see when we get there, and then I'll dab sort of a thin layer of white over the top to mellow everything out. Yeah. What do you think of the line shapes, by the way? Like, I've just been doing random shapes. Are they working for you, or would you do, like, I don't know, more straight or more lines or less? I'm not seeing any replies in chat. I don't know if that's because everyone's quiet or just being nice and lurking and things, or if there's tech goblins. Could either the overgrown dwarf or the overworked apprentice just send a quick message in chat if you can hear me? Just say, oh, hello. Oh, there you go. No, I'm just worrying needlessly. Excellent. Marble is actual rock, can be any shape. Oh, that's true. You do find them branching, don't you? Yeah. Let's do a couple of branching little ones. Do them in different places. Yeah. Oh, that's maybe a bit too... Oh, well, it's fine. We'll cope. Oh my gosh. You know when you're so nervous and your heart's like... It's not great when you're trying to paint, you know? It's meant to be chill. So I did have, like, rain sounds that I don't hear. Oh, Matt! Oh, thank you for lurking. Oh, you awesome. Oh, you definitely should do painting again. It's like... I find it's kind of like meditation for me. Like, you know how people have those colouring books and things? I don't use those, but I do a lot of mini painting, and I find that, especially with minis, because you have to breathe quite slowly because you're like trying to be so delicate, and sometimes you have to hold your breath if you're doing the eyes or something like that. So it's actually really good for controlling your breathing and concentrating on something. So I recommend painting. Yeah, we should do a mini paint-along. Oh, that'd be cool. Yes, we should do this. Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, I think you're right. I may be going a bit curved. We'll have a sort of mixture, I reckon. That's maybe a bit too thick, but that's okay. Yeah. I will say I've been kind of nervous about doing the painting stream. One thing is, I really enjoy painting and I do it a lot. I wouldn't say I'm the world's best at it. Like, I take a lot of shortcuts. I do a lot of things that are probably not what I'm meant to be doing. But people kept asking me to do a painting video for the marble, and I thought streaming would be a bit easier because we can just do it live, and then, yeah, we can answer any questions and things. And if I'm doing a YouTube video, then I'm gonna, think I have to record it as many times as it takes to get it perfect. But if it's live on Twitch, then we don't have that option. What you see is what you get, which is probably really good. Ah, no worries. Thanks for coming, fella. Have a good day at work. We should definitely do a mini paint-along. Just need to get a mini that everyone has, or like a really cheap one that you could get from Reaper or something like that, maybe. Or we just all do different minis. That also works. Yeah, you're right. I think I prefer it straighter. Yeah. Yeah. And I tell you what, one of the things that really quickly makes it look a lot more professional as a paint job is having, after this I'll probably do a light grey wash over everything so it goes in the channels. And I find that when the channels go a bit darker, it suddenly starts to look a bit more, a bit more legit. Now, it can be a similar one. Oh, yeah! Oh my gosh, dragons will be like, dragons can be big boys. That might take some time. I'm not against it, but we should maybe elves would be better to start with. That would be cool. Yeah. Oh, that's a nice thin line. Go big or go home. We're just going to get, that massive red dragon mini, the one that's like this big. Oh, sorry, you can't even see the bottom of my hand. Like 3 times as tall as what you can see. We should get that mini. That massive mini. We all get it. I think it costs like $500, but we're all rich. It'll be fine. and we'll paint that one. Although I have to say, I do have a resin 3D printer, so I could, you know, I could print myself a massive dragon. I haven't done that, but I could. Quite tempting. Sounds like a plan. Agreed. Agreed. One thing I have to be careful about. Oh, yes! Yes, we're not on Skype. Yeah, you have to type it, I'm afraid. Yeah. Hey! Oh, hey, Lara. Oh, by the way, the dice you were talking about a few months ago, the coloured sets, I saw someone selling those on Twitter like 2 days ago, and I went to link you in it, and then I forgot. But I will look for that link again, because they had dice, you know, with the D20 being of one colour, the D4 was a different colour. And I don't think they'd thought of it from the neurodivergent point of view, but yeah, that I know you were looking for those, so that could be cool. I will, yes. Ah! Okay. No way. Thanks, Lorcan, and thanks for coming. Overworked Apprentice, would you be able to write !title, space, and then first, do you know what? I could do this myself. Like, I have it typed, which I thought was the title, but cunningly appears not to be. Oh my god, the title is Hope to Gods I'm Not Live. Ooh. Ooh. I am live. And I'm no longer testing settings. Has that changed? Oh my gosh. Thank you, Lorcan, for pointing that out. Also, you're lurking, so I don't know if you can hear me right now. Actually, you probably can't. I'll say later. Should probably be going a bit faster. You know what else I did before the stream is I made myself like this massive jug of coffee, because I was like, I'm going to be so hydrated, and I left it in the kitchen. So, you know, if we have to have a bio break, then I'll go get my coffee. I did also make like a second emergency coffee, so I have a mug that will keep me going for a while. But yeah. Yeah, sorry. So we had a bit of a moderator chat with Overworked Apprentice. Also, how do you want me to call you on stream? Because it feels weird calling you the Overworked Apprentice, like, out loud. But I don't know if you feel comfortable with me just calling you Mum, as we're in a business setting. But anyway, with our Overworked Apprentice, I did do a sort of, here's how you moderate, because Fancy was amazing and taught me how to moderate yesterday. But it was quite light, and we're quite new to this. Hour. Okay, I will... hour. Or OWA. OWA. OWA sounds kind of cool. Let's do OWA. Which means that you be OGD. OWA, yeah. Yeah. One thing I've got to be sure of when I'm doing like streaming things is it's very easy when you're doing art just to sort of get absorbed in it, and yeah, I've got to make sure I don't ignore people. So if I start going real quiet, just send me a reminder if it's bothering you. Because it's very easy to just sort of zone. Okay. Ooh, we should do some more branching ones actually, shouldn't we? Why don't we do one that's going around there? Yeah. It's probably a bit too round, but that's okay. Do that. Probably should have eaten before the stream too. Still quite round. Never mind. This is why we're streaming Marble, so hopefully by the end you're going to see it and go, oh, actually that is really nice. But you'll be able to see all the different mistakes and things I do along the way, and how you don't have to be that competent to do it. Like, you can be. The Marble's quite a forgiving one. Yeah. Yeah, I did have rain sounds in the background to sort of fill the void, but I can't hear them. I mean, I'm sure we'll survive. It's quite peaceful though, having it all quiet, I have to say. Game streams are one I wouldn't want to do a game like D&D would be fine, but like not Assassin's Creed or Skyrim or something, a game stream. Mainly because I'm not very good at those games, but also because I just worry you get loads of backseat gamers, and yeah, I'm not super keen with backseat drivers, so backseat gamers when I'm already getting frustrated because I can't kill this boss or all of that sort of thing. No, I don't think that would be my jam, but I think it's really cool for the people that can do it. They must have all the patience. All of it. Choo. Meow. Ah. Tell you what, it's starting. I know it's like really the basic stuff and it's not got that much yet, but it's starting to look like something. You know, it's getting there. That was a nice thin line. You know when you do a line and you're just like, oh yeah. Oh, and then I put another one next to it that I'm not as keen on, but there you go. It's like, yeah, backseat FBG! Oh my god, hey! But yes, backseat gamers are the worst. Oh my god, hi! So cool, so cool. So cool. This is like the coolest ever, you guys. You guys are so badass. Oh, this is so cool. You're the best. That is fair. Like, I did an early stream because I know it's the best time for America. Like, well, not the best time, but it's like, you know, tea time on one side and lunchtime on the other, so there's a chance they'll make it. And then Europe is still awake, and then New Zealand is technically awake, but I had to get up at 6 this morning, and I'm not an early bird. I died. I think watching streams in bed is like my favourite Sunday morning activity, with a nice cup of coffee. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I am not an early bird. Oh yeah, that's something you might have to put up with, is sometimes I make random, like, sound effects or car noises when I do painting. I don't know why. But it's like, when you're doing a curve, it's like, meow. Well, that wasn't a very good one because I took my brush off, but yeah. So, sorry about that. It should be illegal. I quite agree. Level 4 should make it mandatory that everyone has lions every day. And, you know, chocolate should be made half price. These are my new level 4 lockdown restriction rules. Chocolate half price. One legally must have a lion. It shouldn't be too sunny. Like, it should be nice weather, but not too nice, because otherwise you get real sad. Like, that you can't go out and do something. Maybe half-price wine. And cheese. This is just going to be, like, the most amazing movie night. Wine, cheese, chocolate. And bed. Oh. Just the most amazing home movies. Yeah. I like sunlight and I like sunshine, but I also really kind of like the cold. So, and of course in the UK we don't really go in for like aircon the way that, you know, sensible people would. So in the summer, if it does get warm, it's like horrible to try and sleep. I know I'm being a wimp and like 30 degrees probably isn't that warm, but it is. Thank you for coming. You guys are the best. Sleep well. Toodle pip. Should probably stop waving at people. There's so many things where I'm like, maybe I should stop that. Maybe I should change that. We'll see. Plus, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Plus, there's something so nice about being cozy in like different scarves and jumpers and things. Definitely jumpers and jeans are the best clothes to be wearing ever. So, a nice autumn, a reasonable autumn where it's warm but it's not too hot, and then you can wear all the nice things but still go outside. And there might be rain, but there's not, you know, as much as winter. That would be my jam, I think. So I can't help noticing that the green screen's gone a bit... Oh no! Well no, we've moved it. Maybe I'll leave it as it is. We'll just have a community of people waving at screens. It's one of those things I'm so used to doing, like waving at people. It's... yeah. Oh. Yeah, it's so weird when you're used to Skype and it's like one of your first times doing Twitch and you go to talk to someone and you're like, no, I have to type this. Hey! How are you doing? Is that... Wait, I don't want to say your name on the internet without, like, checking first. So, Artillo Cat, hey! If you are who I think you are. Never late. A wizard always arrives precisely when they mean to. And you are a wizard. This is decided. Hey, Ian! Oh my god! Hey! Ian is... Yeah, I can say your name. It's in your title. It's fine. Ian's one of the players in one of my games. He is a rogue. And an awesome person. And Artello Cat, you are... I'm so sure that you're you, but... not certain? Either way, hello. Yes, okay. I knew it was you, yes. Okay, Artello Cat is the most awesome person in the world, and also the person that designed the packaging. She is a badass. Yes. Oh yeah, that's true. She also cut my hair for the last 2 times I had my hair cut. Because she's a badass. Oh, hello. Definitely, I think if I do the stream again, I need to... Ah, I thought that was my green screen, but it's my paintbrush from behind my head. I know what I'm doing. Sure I do. Oh, thank you. It was honestly, it's the most easy setup. Turns out OBS is not as scary as I thought it was going to be. Although, I haven't had any real tech goblins to have to fight yet. And yeah, the packaging designs are the best, right? So good. I'm really excited about them. Yeah, OBS was actually relatively easy to set up, and the whole... How do we do this? Wait, I will point at it properly. Yes, the whole framing that you see there around it was literally just done in Canva, because I also think Canva is awesome. I'm not sponsored by Canva. I don't think they sponsor terrain people, but they do make it very easy to do graphics. That's another thing you can do if you don't like one of those lines. You can, if you're quick enough, just rub it out with your finger. Probably shouldn't say that because someone's going to try it at some point and then be like, no, that didn't work for me. Not my paints. But it works for mine. Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm not as keen on that one, but we'll leave it. Yeah. Canva is the best, and plus it turns out that if you have Canva Pro, which isn't that crazy, crazy expensive, not only do you get all the free graphics and things, turns out you also get loads of free background music that you can just use. You then have the license to use it. Oh, thank you. Well, I was going to say I'm sorry for taking your money from you, but I'm not. Thank you. I'm very grateful for taking your money from you. That's true. It's not losing. You get epic terrain. Which, by the way, I should say this terrain piece has marks around the outside. They don't all do that. That was just because I was chewing on it. I was kind of worried. You know how they say that you worry about if you have a toy or something that a kid's gonna eat it and then die or something? Or choke on it? So I was trying to chew on it to see if how easy it was to break apart by. And no, it's really hard to break apart. I haven't actually managed it yet. It got to a point where I thought I was close to breaking it, but then I felt one of my teeth do a sort of weird and I was like, oh, I might break a tooth first, so I stopped. But yeah, anyway, that's why that tile has a load of tooth marks on it. They don't all come like that. Yeah! Oh, the magnetic terrain. Plus, it's my favourite thing that I've just started doing is that... yeah, who'd have thought? Me? Is I've started taking the bases off minis and putting, like, magnets on the bottom. And then they just, like, stand on the terrain. It's, like, the best thing. And then you can have different minis, all kind of on the terrain in different ways. But they look a lot more, you know... Yes. It was literally going... Arr! Yeah. But then you don't have, like... I always find the bases really annoying because it just annoys me that someone has a load of grass on their base and then they go into a tavern and they're sat in a tavern with a load of grass around their feet. And it shouldn't annoy me, but it really does. So I've been taking all the bases off the mini, putting magnets on the bottom, and then, yeah, I quite like them this way. Plus, it means you can do things like... Wait. Spider climb, does whatever a orc using spider climb does. No, I'd never mistake it for chocolate. Oh, I mean, not. I was, to be honest, I was going to think of something funny and clever to say in response, but then I couldn't think of anything funny or clever. So, sorry. There was going to be like a really, I thought, no, I wouldn't mistake it for chocolate. And then like, I started that sentence hoping that something funny would come to me, and then it didn't. So, now, it's ever so slightly, I look like a chump, but that's okay. Oh no. Yeah, we'll survive. I think if it was painted brown, in low light it could be mistaken for chocolate because it's got those kind of grid things. I do every now and then mistake foods for other foods. I put Coke on my sushi once, thinking it was soy sauce because it was the same colour. It was a very disappointing lunchtime. But actually not as bad as you might think it would be. So, who knew? Oh my god, hey Rob! Hello! Oh my god. This is my first stream. I'm painting. Painting and being ever so slightly socially awkward, it's perfect. And laughing a lot because I'm a nervous laugher. So because I've got like background nerves, I've just like constantly got a low level of laughter going. It's kind of great. No, it doesn't. No. I just, there were 2 bottles on the table with dark liquid. And I thought, well, to be honest, I don't think I was thinking. I just did. But could definitely have tasted worse. Agreed that I wasn't thinking, or... Yeah, I know. I'd be surprised that I was streaming this early in the day. It's, I'm not an early bird. But, like, a lot of the people that buy the terrain are from America, so I wanted to make it accessible if they wanted to come in. But I also wanted it to be a time that, Mum and Dad could be in the stream, because, first stream. And also a time that I would be awake, which is now. Although I wouldn't normally be awake, but, Oh, oh, oh! Thank you. Oh, you're the best. Or rather, you're the bomb. That's true, and sometimes I try to do the smearing the line. The trouble is, sometimes I'm not very good at it. Let's give it a go right now, actually. Kind of... Especially if you've got like slightly dirty fingers or like you've got paint on them before, it can be a little bit sad, but let's give it a go. Do you know, that's not dreadful, is it? And then we'll just go over the top there. That could be a lot worse. FBGX is the bomb. This is a universal known truth. Oh, hello, Nicole. Oh my gosh, hey, thank you. Oh, I'm really glad to see you. Good luck with work. Thank you for lurking. I lurk a lot. I am a great lurker on streams, so I will always appreciate lurkers because they are my spirit animal. Yeah. Oh no, see, there's an example of a smear not quite going to plan. That sounded wrong, didn't it? That sounded a bit gross. We're going to ignore that. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Cheers, Fancy. Make Nightbot. Nightbot. Oh my god, that took me far too long to get. Oh no, you can't see it behind the cam, can you? That's a very good point. Yes, please let me show you absolutely nothing. I should probably do more of the kind of smudging thing just so I can practice. I extended caps. Fancy was like the most amazing person ever and had a call with me yesterday to sort of go through different Nightbot settings and things. So caps have been extended to like 40, I think. So you can shout at me if you do it in very, very small sentences. Yeah, see, this is why I think you should stream Cat. Like, it is a lovely... Like, there are so many nice people, and it's just awesome. I know, it's crazy, isn't it? It's like you can just snap them together. What? Reversible? What? Craziness. Overworked Apprentice, could you drop the link again? But you can find them on Kickstarter. I'm definitely going to make that a command. I really meant to make that a command and then forgot / got busy. But I will do this. Until then, Overworked Apprentice. Oh, sorry. I'm pointing that way because I've got the chat there, but oh, there you go. So smooth. We're professionals, you guys. Oh, I'm not as keen on that smudge either. Do you know, actually, the smudges look a lot better on camera, don't they? It's because it's meant to be a HD camera, but maybe my eyes are just, you know, slightly better at looking at things. Yes. My poor apprentice is so overworked. So for those of you that don't know, the overworked apprentice is my mum. And oh yes, good luck with work or / have a nice day. Oh yeah, and we really need to pick up the game. Like, I've been writing a lot for it, so we need to get going on that after lockdown. But yes, we do. But yeah, the overworked apprentice is my mum, Sandra, and she did for a lot of the rewards for the last campaign, she made a lot of, well, most of them, to be honest, and sent them out. As did my dad, who is also known as the overgrown dwarf. So most certainly overworked. Overworked and underpaid / not paid yet. So we need to change that. Oh, Fancy, you are the best person. Oh, look at that. How do we feel about this smudge? I'm not quite sure about it, you know? I mean, to be honest, most of these are going to get covered up anyway, aren't they? So, you know, we'll survive. But yeah, you know, now you mentioned the smudging, and I'm giving it a go, I agree. It actually makes it look a lot nicer. So maybe I'll go back and go over some of those other ones if we have time. Can I permit you, Fancy, by going !permit at the Fancy Unicorn? Look at that! Oh my god. I can do streaming, you guys. I know commands and things. Yeah. Fancy is a mod for Rob's streams, and she does an amazing job. But she's not a mod for my stream. So she... Oh, look at that. Oh, you're the best person in the entire world. Wait, so if you're not a mod, does that mean you're a regular unicorn? Shut it, Rob. She does the best job. I'm the streamer, so I can tell you to shut up and you have to listen to me. Well, you don't have to listen to me, but you have to hear me. Because you can't miss it because I'm not in chat. I'm on your screen. I swear I will fix the Kickstarter thing. Wait, I can... The Overworked Apprentice doesn't have to do that. I could do that because I'm a moderator. Oh, boom. I agree. I mean, what are you... Do you not know the rules, Fancy? I'm amazed. I'm amazed. Well, that's true, but you'll still see the evils, you know? What am I saying to your face? I've completely forgotten what I meant to say to your face. Oh no. Oh, perfect. Then I don't need to say anything to your face. Except that it's probably beautiful, but I've never seen it. But I'm sure it's beautiful. Do you know, I really should have... I was testing different paint things before the stream, so I've got a load of paint under my nails, probably. Again, something for next time. Yeah. It's 100% an occupational hazard, like... I don't think I've ever in my life painted and not had paint all over my hands and possibly face. I have a really terrible habit of like rubbing my cheek or under my eye or something like that when I have paint on my hands. What do you reckon? A cheeky extra one there? Let's put a cheeky extra line there. Why not? Oh, you can't mug anyone here, Rob. Yet. Although, actually, that did just remind me that I should have some of my coffee. Which is stone cold. But there you go. I use coffee bags. It's great because then you get like a filtered coffee, but you don't actually have to make any effort. Oh, you must smell amazing because I love the smell of cut wood. Like, oh, yeah, fresh wood. Like, do you know what? This probably sounds really weird, but you know. Do you know, I genuinely put on perfume before this stream, and I don't know why, because I never normally wear perfume in real life, unless I'm, like, going to a business event or something, and I'm like, I'll put on some perfume. But I was like, oh, I'm doing a stream today, I'll put on perfume. So I hope you can all smell me through your computers and smell how wonderful and amazing it, you know, quite floral. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's been an hour. Oh my god, it's been an hour. Holy moly. So I should probably move on to the next stage in a wee second. Oh no. Look good, smell good, feel good. Yes. You know, I'm gonna watch this stream back afterwards and go through all these these exclamation mark command things and be like, I'm stealing that. I'm using that. That's gonna be added. So, for the... we've got a random bit of paint in there. We'll just take that out. So, for the wash, I'm a very simple gal. I'm going to use just a load of water in a jam jar and some cheap acrylic paint. Actually, I'll probably use this cheap acrylic paint because it's slightly lighter. Oh, have a great day. Thanks for coming, FPG. You da bomb. Yeah, so honestly, this is kind of a cheapish acrylic, but I'm never quite sure about when people say, oh, you shouldn't use cheap acrylics when you're painting. I agree for minis because, you know, they get like... cheap acrylics can sometimes be... they don't flow as nicely, and then you have to use a lot more paint because there's not as much pigment in them, and, you know, with minis it can get very sad. But I've never really seen it as a problem with terrain because terrain's a lot bigger, so... and plus it's so much cheaper to use cheap acrylics. Who'd have thought? Oh yeah, you have so many commands, Rob. Like, holy moly. I'm probably not going to have that many ever. But... ooh, will they be there on Friday? Maybe. Probably there'll be at least one, but I was going to send out a mailing list. And in the mailing list, I was going to say that they're running low. And generally, when I tell people they're running low, people sort of rush to buy them. I will be putting a, you know, later delivery set up, a wave 2 delivery. So, sorry, I'm just reading chat at the same time. So, if they are all gone by Friday, you'll be able to get them, but with a later delivery time. But, you know. Such as Kickstarter. But they'll still be there. Ah, you get paid on Friday. Risk it for a biscuit? To be honest, the later delivery probably isn't going to be that crazy later, I don't think. Mainly because now everything's being injection moulded, we can just, like... So before we were injection moulding, when we were 3D printing terrain, for a Dungeon Lord set, it was taking, 3-4 days to make? And now with the injection moulding, it takes, maybe 30 seconds to make the actual parts, and then a further 5 minutes, because there's a conveyor belt, you guys. There's a factory with a conveyor belt where these are going to be made. Like, if that's not professional, what is? Yes. Oh, my God, yes. That's a really good point. It doesn't take money until the end. Yes. Yes, I really should have thought of that. Oh, also, the wash is like... I don't know if you can really see. It's basically just very watered down paint. But I like it because it gives this sort of watercoloured look on the marble. Yeah, I agree. Conveyor belts mean you're a professional. Like, they have them at airports and things. And sometimes I dab it a little bit with a bit of paper towel to take... Not to take all of it off, but it just... I don't know. It just makes it look a bit more mottled, I guess. I prefer it that way. But, you know, each to their own. Oh, and I should probably say that the brush I'm using is... they don't use tiny children. No. It's in Yorkshire. It's in... Well, I was going to say your place of origin, but I don't actually know what town you came from. But the factory's in Yorkshire, so yeah. Yeah, I know. I'll probably never get uber wealthy because, like, I don't like child labour and stuffs. But yeah, we did. I decided to go for a factory in Yorkshire mainly because, well, I can send my wonderful overworked apprentice, an overgrown dwarf, over to check it out and keep an eye on quality control. And plus, like, I trust workers' rights a bit more there. Like, and I know people are going to be paid a fair wage and have decent hours, which, I don't know, is just something that bothers me. And it's easier to make sure the quality's better. If there's any problems, you know. I'll probably never go to space then. I mean, to be fair, I'm not actually sure if I want to... Oh, no, we're not quite parallel. If I want to go to space. Like, my brother definitely would. And I remember having this conversation as kids because he's always been someone that's would, if he had the opportunity, go to space. I don't think I would. I think I'm quite happy with this planet and I want to stay on it. And I quite like having my feet on the ground. I don't know. That said, if I was rich, I would definitely spend the money on other things, like the most amazing game room. Like, it would be hidden behind a bookcase. We'd have that thing, you know, where you pull a book and then it opens. That, yes. And then... But what if you could go and... Oh... Wait, are you asking me if I would use if the price was child labour, but I could go into the D&D world, would I then do that? That's a really difficult question. Oh God. I don't think so. Because, like, it still feels grotty. But I will admit that I would like to go into the D&D world very, very much. But I don't think, you know... But what about you, Rob? And you, Artello Cat? Would you use child labour to go into space / the D&D world? Good heart, but no brains. Meow. like that. But would you? Which D&D world? Also, Kinos, hello. I think this is the first time I've seen you in chat. Hello. Welcome. Thank you. Which D&D world? Oh, man. I cheat and say my homebrew world because, you know, I've controlled it. I know how it works. But I think that's probably cheating. What do you use child labour for? Probably the Forgotten Realms, because I just love high fantasy. But like, I'm just imagining that like a kind of school sports day thing. Oh, Dancing with Circus Bears. Okay, I was thinking like wheelbarrow races or egg and spoon races, but yeah, Dancing with Bears. Yeah. And it's a form of exercise, you know. Which D&D world? Do you know, the embarrassing thing is that I've not really played in many D&D worlds. No, not Ravenloft. No, not Ravenloft. No, I don't think so. I do not deal well with horror. I'm not that kind of person. Like, I genuinely, you know, the Creeping Angels Doctor Who episode? That was too scary for me. That is like, I have a low tolerance for horror. So, not Ravenloft. Man. Oh, crumbs. This is a really difficult question because I've played like, what, 3-4 games in the Forgotten Realms? And oh no, hang on, I did the entire campaign of Descent into Avernus, so I completely lied to you then. But I would not do that one because Avernus sucked. Yeah, that's true. You exploited us as children to wash your car. You did. Yes, I felt I was very exploited as a child to put the Hoover over. So everyone take that down. Overworked apprentice exploits children. I know. Who would have thought? Who would have thought that hell would suck? Oh, Matt, you are the best person in the entire world. Thank you. Look, that. Wait, hang on. There. No. Yes, there. A blue love heart for you. Oh no. Oh no, I'm getting spice from my mum about hoovering. But yes, it's true, I was never very good at it. Or rather, never very enthusiastic about it, let's be honest. It wasn't a technical problem. Feywild. I could be down for the Feywild. The only thing is, I feel like I would get myself into a lot of trouble in the Feywild because... for a start, if someone asked me what my name was, I'd just tell them. I wouldn't... Oh, hello, Bexplore! Hey! How are you doing? Welcome to my stream. Oh, granted suicide, yeah. Like, are you running Avernus at the moment, then? Ooh. I am good. I'm really enjoying this, actually. I was, like, super nervous, and I'm still a little bit nervous, but I'm really enjoying streaming. This is so cool. If you guys don't know, Bexplore is who helped, she was the director, right? For the Kickstarter video. Yeah, because, yeah. She did a badass job. So, If you haven't seen the Kickstarter video, go watch it. It's super cheesy, but I love it to bits. But if you have seen the Kickstarter video, explore. Yeah. Oh, waiting for schedules to align. Well, that should be really easy. It's really easy to get schedules to align. I don't understand what the problem is there. Weird. Aw, you. I will say, if you're doing Avernus, like, one of the things that made it so real playing in Avernus was my DM at the time described smells a lot. And I think smells often get left out in descriptions of places by dungeon masters. But this chap, he really went overboard on the smells, and it was gross, and it was really good at making a mental image. Like, oh. Oh, nice. Nice. It's weird, because when I look back on a lot of my D&D games, so many of them, like, I think about, oh yes, that time that I went to Avernus. But no, I never went to Avernus, did I? Like, if anyone, it was Trip, but even then it's just an imaginary game. But in my mind, I'm going, oh yeah, I remember going to Avernus. Oh, that sucked. Or, oh, that was a nice person that we met. It's really weird how D&D does that, and, like, your memories get blurred. But then humans are really bad at remembering things anyway. Like, I think most people, when they try and remember things, especially childhood memories, most of your childhood memories are not actually your childhood memories. They're just what you've been told is what happened. So I guess it makes sense that a lot of D&D becomes, over time, almost like real memories. It's kind of cool. Oh, crumbs. I'm probably not the best person to be giving you tips, especially when Rob's in chat, because, you know, Rob's amazing. I've DM'd, like, for about a year and a half now. Teo T. Ferret. Teo, am I pronouncing that right? Teo T. Ferret? Can I just call you Ferret? Also, hello, Ferret. Oh, that's amazing. I love saying hello, Ferret. It makes me feel like I'm a druid. Oh, amazing. Yeah, I enjoyed VLDL Descent into Avernus. That was a lot of fun. Yes, and why I keep making the same dumb mistakes. Oh, that's so badass. Oh, thank you. I really can't wait to be sending these out. It's gonna be, like, the best thing ever. Because, yeah, like, last time I got pictures from different people that had sent me them, like, them playing with the tiles in their kitchens or in their living rooms with their friends. I had people messaging me saying that, you know, they hadn't played D&D before, but they were going to start. And it was just, like, the most... It's just the most wonderful thing to have something that you love and that you, like, something that you think is cool and that you made, and then having other people say they think it's cool, and then using it in their games, and genuinely just making stories, making memories, and just... There's so many adventures that are happening with my tiles, and it makes me so happy. Oh my god, I'm getting too emotional. It's when I get really happy, I sometimes tear up. It's like the most embarrassing thing. So we're gonna move on. But thank you. Thank you very much. Hi, hey fella, welcome back. How have you been since I last saw you? It's always hard with Kickstarters to know how much to get, because the one thing is, before the Kickstarter arrives, you don't actually know if it's going to be that good. like, you can get some real naff stuff on Kickstarter sometimes. So, and especially as the last time, it was my first ever Kickstarter, I really don't blame you for not getting many tiles, because I could have been just anyone. I could have taken your money and run. I am having a fun stream. I am. Yes. I like talking with people. Yes. The only thing is my coffee is like stone cold, but you know. This is a lot of fun. I have a feeling I'm going to be streaming in the future because I have to paint the tiles anyway, you know, for promotional pictures and things. So technically I'm doing work, so I'm not, even though I'm having fun, I'm not dossing off. I'm working, you guys. I'm working. Ah, fair dues. Ah, thanks for coming, Granted Suicide / Matt. Have a good rest of your day, evening, night, whatever time it is. And see you. Thanks for coming. Now, do we think we can do the next layer? Or is it still a bit wet? I reckon it's still a bit wet. I'm kind of tempted to put the hairdryer on, but I realise that's going to, you know, destroy everyone's ears. I could mute myself, put the hairdryer on for like 2 minutes, and then... Yes, you go, Mum. Have a good night. See ya. I know what I'll do. I'm going to take it to a Be Right Back stream. Oh, what? Oh, Rob, you don't need to do that. Just hang out with me. Have a good stream. I almost certainly, once this is done, I will be lurking in your stream, so probably see you later. I might take this to a Be Right Back screen, you guys, so that I can put the hairdryer on for a few minutes. Yeah, get fresh coffee. Exactly. It's just so nice. I will see you guys. Can you hear it now? Is it like... Fella, yeah? That guy's the worst. I will see you guys later. Is it like a good level of quiet? That's fair. It's that's just fair. Everyone has work. Or is it so quiet that you're like, this is annoying? If you're back, then I'll see you after the bio break. But if not, have wonderful days, quiet evenings, nights, mornings, whenever it is. Have a good time. And I will see you in 5. Doodle pip. No, I won't. I microwaved. Yes, I will. Microwaved my coffee and now it's quite hot. Never as keen on microwaved coffee, to be honest. Oh my god. There you go. Better than instant. You know, peaceful quiet. Perfect. Perfect. That's how I like it. Okay. We can keep going then. Exciting. So I put the hairdryer over these. Oh, not well enough apparently, but good enough I think for now. Again, you're gonna see me be like so... I'd say my painting method is haphazard, is how I would describe my painting style. So... Perfect. I really like having rain in the background. It's, yeah. There's this YouTube video, which I can't play because, you know, licensing or whatever, but there's an amazing YouTube video that does rain and fireplace noises and a bit of thunder. And the video that you see is an animation of, like, this amazing, I guess it's some sort of medieval castle room. It kind of reminds me a lot of how you'd imagine a room to look like in a tavern if you're an adventurer. And yeah, I usually listen to that when I'm going to sleep because it's like the most peaceful thing, having rain in a fireplace. But then if you open your eyes or roll over and look at the animation, it's just this beautiful medieval room with a flickering fireplace, and there's rain running down the windows, and like medieval cottages outside. It's the nicest thing. I think the YouTube channel that does it is called the Guild of Ambience, because I sometimes use them for music in my D&D games. So, yeah. If you like that sort of stuff, check them out. They do awesome random background noise things. And the paint. Oh, I'm doing it all off stream. What's the point in that? The paint that I'm making up for going over the top now Actually, I should be doing this one a bit later. I should be doing a darker colour. So I've been making a whitewash out of water and white acrylic, but I will not use it quite yet. So we'll just put that to the side. So what kind of marble should we go for? I'm kind of feeling like a light sort of tan, like a light, brown or some such. I'm probably going to use one of these colours. Ah yeah, so the painting steps I've done so far is I primed everything white. Oh, annoying. Oh, that sucks. I primed everything white with a sort of spray paint primer. One of the brand was Rust-Oleum or Rust-Oleum, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But, white primer. Then I used a dark wash. This one is Army Painter. You can also use black acrylic paint, and if you want it more like a wash, watered down black acrylic paint, which is what I used to use. Basically, I just bought a load of washes like a couple of months ago, and now I'm like, I need to use them for everything because they're wonderful. So we did black, either watered down acrylic or a black wash. And then I used a relatively fine brush and sort of did, just different lines for veins in the marble. Some of them I smudged with my finger, some I just did as is. I then made a pale grey wash, which was out of water and cheap acrylic. I can't see where I put the, tube thing, so I can't tell you exactly what brand it was, but it was $4.50, so yeah, cheaper stuff, which I watered down and then put everywhere. Main thing is I wanted it to go into the cracks, because one of the things that really looks good about having these as marble is to have just a nice sort of subtle... Yeah, when it goes into the cracks, it makes the top bit pop a little bit in my mind. Then... Oh, and because I put the wash over everything, I also got a paper towel and dabbed some of the excess off to give it a bit more of a watery look. And now I'm deciding on what sort of, colour to put on the marble. We could just go with grey because, marble is often white and grey, but I really like the idea of having a colour in there, so we might go with a light brown because why not? I'm also looking for some sort of mixer to put it in. Yeah, another thing, because I'm, a haphazard painter, I usually don't have specific paint pots. I just use bottle caps or jam jar lids or, to mix my paints. Which actually isn't the best thing in the entire world when you're on stream and trying to look professional. But there you go. We are going to use a coffin. We are going to use a coffin as our paint thing. Oh my gosh. Ooh, red and pink. Yeah, I haven't done red marble. I've done a sort of black red marble, but I haven't done a proper white and red marble. So I'm going to try that. Why not? So I do, in fact, have a red wash. So we'll use that. Never drink the paint water. Never wash your brush in the coffee mug. This is so true. The amount of times I've done that is just, it's not even funny anymore. But that's part of the reason why I use acrylics and not, I don't know, are they oil-based paints, the other ones? Enamels, that's what they're called. Yeah, because I do drink the paint water relatively frequently, and drinking turpentine sucks. So that's why I use acrylics now. I used to have rather than having a jam jar, I used to have a Coke can. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. I used to have a Coke can I'd use as my washing my paintbrushes out. And amazingly, I would sometimes drink from the Coke can. Who would have thought? So I've changed now. So when you say a warning message, do you mean just printed on the mug saying, "Don't drink me"? must remember to do these things on camera. I'm just basically adding some water to my wash. Just a little bit, because sometimes I find the Army Painter washes are just a tad thick for me. Oh, nice. Oh my gosh, hey! I have no idea how to pronounce your name. Mochilua? Mochilua. I'm going to call you Mocky. Until you correct me, you are now Mocky. Thank you. Also, hello! Thank you for joining the chat. Oh, this is so cool. How are you doing? Okay, I'm always worried about using people's names on stream because, like, I don't know if people are worried about privacy and things. I will call you Noelle. Thank you. This is not your coffee mug. The trouble is, I don't know if that would stop me. I think I would just do it anyway. Okay. Ooh. Oh, wonderful. I watch streams in bed. It's like the best thing ever. Are you working in lockdown, or are you able to kind of... I was going to say chill, but no one really chills in lockdown. You're always trying to learn another language or do something random because the internet says you should. How are we feeling about the kind of pink going on here? I'm kind of liking it, to be honest. I'm digging it. Hell yeah. Exactly. This is why painting in chat is actually, this is a wild challenge, trying to be like reading and studying. Yeah, you see, I'm like talking to you and then reading something else and replying and cutting myself off midway. Brilliant. I mean, studying is important. But come watch painting. What do we reckon? Should we just chuck a bit of pink there? And a bit there? I'm also... You might notice I'm watering down my brush once I've put it on and just coming back afterwards. That's to get it to have a little bit more of a fade into the white. Yeah, so... Because we noticed that on this one here, I didn't do that, and to my mind it's just a little bit stark. So having a nice sort of fade, I don't know, I quite like it sometimes. I'm genuinely loving streaming. This is like the coolest thing ever. I might do it just for fun, even if it's not for the business. I might just do streaming because I enjoy chatting and hanging out with you guys. Oh, is this a pile of minis of shame? Because I have a pile of minis that stare at me and judge me daily for not painting them. Maybe I can paint them on stream, and then I'm like... I mean, I was going to say working, but it's not really working, is it? But, you know, I'm doing something productive. Yes, a very large pile of minis. Yes, I feel you. Yes. Yes. I feel like it's one of those things, minis, they need painting. Just like if you have chainmail, it needs polishing. It will always need polishing. You will never have it rust-free. It is a job that does not end. Oh, hello. I might just blur this one around the edge there. Again, this is why I like marble. It's so forgiving. You can just kind of go back over bits if you're like, actually, you know, I don't quite like what I did there. We're just going to go over it a little bit more, you know, add a cheeky extra bit. Kind of... You've got a room of boxes of minis. Okay, you're beating me. I've got, I don't know, maybe 200 unpainted? But I thought that was bad, but clearly I am on rookie numbers. But you wait. Should we have a nice, yeah, do a nice line there. Just gonna water my brush and do a cheeky blur on these chaps. Or chapettes, I suppose. Nice. Oh, this is super nice. I'm glad you suggested pink marble. Wait, which Kickstarter did you go overboard on? I also have magnetic terrain that I need to finish painting. Don't worry, I won't rat you out if you don't rat me out. Yeah, which Kickstarter did you get all the minis from? Because I did... What are they called? Fantasy Series 1. Yeah, but what's the actual name of the people that do it? Is it Blacklist? I want to say Blacklist. Oh, you did the Reaper minis. I wish I'd done the Reaper mini Kickstarter. I didn't because it was getting quite expensive and I didn't have much money at the time and, you know, starting the business and all of that jazz. But I've seen all these different sites where people have like thousands of minis and they look so beautiful. Next time they have a Kickstarter. To be honest, I'm a big fan of Reaper. I like that they do minis that are affordable compared to a lot of other places. It's especially nice when you're starting out because this can be like a super expensive hobby. So when you're starting out, having like cheaper providers like Reaper minis makes a huge difference, or at least it did to me. Should we add a little cheeky bit there? Why not? Do you know, I don't think you can even see it on camera. It's like super pale. But I like that. Oh, you know, yeah, I am so glad you suggested pink marble. I am loving this pink marble. Gonna have to find somewhere to use pink marble. Maybe we'll do it this side around. Yeah. No, just... might have been a bit harsh, but that's okay. Then we'll do a faint line there. Just water the brush slightly. Oh, okay, you can see it okay? Perfect. There's still plans for the waterways tiles. Yeah, no, that is a really good question. I would love to do the waterways tiles. Like, because I put so much time and effort into them, and it was really, like, there was a lot of prototyping going into those, and getting the water, like, I was so proud of... poo, I don't have any in reach, but the way that you can just take the water off and put it on, I was very pleased with that, and disguising the pegs as rocks, I was like, you know, I thought I was a genius for about 30 minutes, and then also having the water being like 2 millimeters off the base of the tile, so you actually got the light refracting through it, so you got the ripples on whatever you put on the base. Like, I was very, very proud of that. So I would love to, at some point, bring them to market, because I love them so much. But, to be fair, that's Annabelle the inventor, not Annabelle the businesswoman talking. So, Annabelle the businesswoman would probably say, we need to see what the market says. So I'll be running a poll when the Kickstarter is done to see what kind of terrain people like more. Honestly, I think there's a good chance people are going to be wanting more of the kind of basic terrain, maybe some cities, maybe caverns often come up a lot because, you know, you have a lot more dungeon crawls in a cavern than you do around rivers. But at some point or other, probably in a year or so, I would very much like to revisit the waterways. I'll just need to do it in a way that's smart. So, Myth! Hey! Mythical Turian! How are you doing? How are you? Welcome to my stream. But yes, we'll do waterways. Oh my god! Oh, Sparrow! Oh my god, did he? Oh, Rob is the best. Rob is like the most awesome human being. Like, or human being. I really like saying human being. I got it from Adam's streams and I think it's wonderful and I'm going to keep saying it. Oh my god. Oh, hey guys. Oh. Oh my god, he's the best. You're the best. Welcome. I'm good. I'm really good. Like, I was super nervous about streaming, but it's actually really, really fun. And it's, like, I thought OBS was going to be absolutely terrifying. Hey! Oh my god, hey! Okay, wait, I'm going to try and say everyone's names because I always love it when a streamer says my name, so let's go for it. So, Mythical Turian, of course. Sparrow Fly Away. Sparrow, hello. Mary G 2012. And, oh, Octopoid! And Petolia! Hey, hey, hey! Oh my god. Ah, this is so cool! Ah, Future Maniac, Captain Lady Rachel, Ads RW, Uniform Prism. Oh my god, this is so cool. Hello. Hello, everyone. Oh, you are the best. There is a very, very high chance that when this is done, I am going to be raiding Rob's stream because this is my first stream and I'm able to raid someone. It's going to be very exciting. Don't tell him I said that. Oh. If I do raid him, it's going to be a surprise, and I don't have any raid emotes, so we'll probably just go over there and stare at him, and most of the people will be either friends, Kickstarter backers, or people that have come from Rob's stream, but, you know. We're doing... Oh, yeah, sorry, people that are new. Yeah, it's surprisingly easy, like, or so far. I mean, I haven't really had any tech issues yet, apart from, you know, leaving my mic on when I left to heat up my coffee. So, I thought it was going to be a lot more stressful. And ask me again when we've had some proper tech goblins, but so far it seems really nice. It's really chill. So, for you guys that have just come in, I'm painting some of the terrain I make. I am doing a marble effect, because the marble effect is one of those ones that's really forgiving to do when you're new to it, because you can just dab new layers on top if you don't like what you're doing. So far, I don't actually... I'm okay with it, so I'm not gonna go over it yet. Although I might do a white over the top just to pale down the pink. You'll see. You'll see. I've also, rather cunningly, where I didn't fully dry the white layer, being a bit impatient, I've got some white on my brush that means that the wash is a little bit more opaque than I'd like, but, you know, we'll survive. We'll survive. Oh, this is so cool. You guys are awesome. Yum. Oh, look at that! This one looks kind of like a smiley face. Probably get rid of the smiley face though, because marble doesn't smile. True. Very true. Well, maybe when it's dry, I'll do like another wash of like... Oh yeah, so the type of paint that I'm using is embarrassingly bad for the most part because, you know, I'm not that great enough. I use really cheap materials mostly. So it was like dollar store acrylic paint to make the wash, although I think it ended up being $4. Oh, miss. You the best. So I primed it white using just a basic primer that I got from a hardware store. So I got it from Bunnings, but that's a New Zealand brand, I'm pretty sure. So, New Zealand, you know, hardware store, so B&Q. Yes, water-based, so that if I drink my paint water, you know, I don't kill myself or need to get my stomach pumped. So I just... Oh, well, perfect. There you go, Bunnings. So I got the Rust-Illum brand from Bunnings, basically a flat white primer. Preferably go for a flat white, just because the shiny white, sometimes I find the gloss primer is harder to paint over the top of. So go for a flat white if you can. Ah, Thank you for the lurk. And then, what did I do? Oh, actually, to be fair, I used a slightly more upmarket thing for the dark. I used a dark tone from the Army Painter. I think this is like $6, maybe? To be honest, I bought like a massive set of 20 or something, so they're relatively cheap. I got very excited a few months ago. But in the past, I have just used normal black acrylic paint and then just watered it down. And for this red that we're doing then of course I did the dabbing of the wash over everything. I then did some red tone, which I'm watering down in a coffin, which I'm using as my paint pot because, why not? And yeah, then I'll probably do some white over the top, and that white is also dollar store acrylics. Yes, the wash fills the cracks. The idea is that when you do the grey wash over the top, I do it so it fills all the cracks and gives it just that kind of illusion of depth. And also because then I dab bits of it off with a paper towel afterwards, that gives it just that slightly more mottled, it just looks a little bit more rough and natural. So, yeah. Oh, I don't have many lead miniatures. It's really sad. I've got like 4. Most of them are plastic. Yeah, I started painting about a year and a half ago. Well, I'll tell you when. It's when I started the business and I realised I needed pictures of painted terrain. and I thought, I better learn how to paint them. So I started about a year and a half ago. And yeah, I would say it's not that bad. And then came the 3D printing revolution. Oh man, I really like this pink. I don't know enough about it to comment on the enamels. The only thing I know is that my dad had like this massive ship that... Oh wait! Oh my god! I say I don't know that. I've literally got a Humbrol enamel. This I inherited from my dad, who had like this massive... I think it was the Queen Mary replica, like of the ship. And... yeah, there you go. And that came with the boat. And... and yeah, I don't think he did much painting of it, but when I started mini painting, I stole his paints. And yeah, I agree that I tried some of the enamels and I hated them on minis. Actually, that's true. I have the most disgustingly painted minis out of those enamels. I think I still have some to hand where I've been like, I need to strip the paint off of these at some point. Yeah, things like that, where it was so hard to even get, like, there's no facial details, and they're so thick that even if you put a wash on, like, it's not that great. The only enamel that I really like, yeah, exactly. The only enamel I really like is this one, which is the brand that you weren't so keen on, but I don't use it on my minis, I use it for blood splatters. It makes such great blood splatters. And they stay shiny forever, so it looks fresh. Oh, Future Maniac, you're awesome. The trap tiles... Well, that is a tricky one, isn't it? I think the trap tiles were going to come if we got to the stretch goal, because then I could afford the moulds. And I'm not entirely sure if we're going to get there in a week. So I'm wondering if I could just make the mould anyway. Like, I'm kind of going through the economics of it at the moment and seeing if I can change some of the way the moulds are made, change some of the different shapes. It might be that I can offer trap tiles, but just with one back to them, or a slightly... Yeah, maybe just with one back to them, because that would be a lot cheaper to make. And then I could offer them as an add-on. So there's a good chance about that. The Dirt League, probably not, if I'm honest. The reason being, originally the Dirt League was going to be an add-on, and I was like, oh yeah, this is going to be awesome. And then I got people messaging me when I did the feedbacks, when the first Kickstarter had its little blip, as I like to call it. And people messaged me and said that I had too many options and they were getting analysis paralysis. Which, oh man, that's such a shame. So I reduced down a load of the options, but I didn't want to get rid of it entirely because, it's badass. So I made it part of the champion tier. It does take a hell of a long time to print. I tell you what, let me think about it, and maybe I'll do like a special, not for everyone, but maybe we can work something out, Oh no. Oh, you can't see. I just went to put more wash in my coffin and then a load of dust fell out of the lid. Very thematic for a coffin, actually. Yeah, just for those on stream, perhaps. That is a good point. Maybe we should do that. Now I've announced that on a live stream, haven't I? So the world can see that. So it's not going to be 1 or 2 people. I'm going to make note. Oh my gosh. Okay, I retract that. I make no promises. We'll see. Not free stuff. Maybe doing an add-on before that isn't available normally. I might just make the Dirt League available. Yes, we get into the dangers of live streaming. Very, very true. And I have a habit of just talking. So, yes. I want to make it on record that I've made no promises yet. We'll see. I'm doing that mum thing. That's what my mum used to say when I'd ask for something as a kid. She'd always go, oh, we'll see. Now I'm doing that. We'll see. No, I don't think anyone here is an arse. Everyone's awesome. But you never know who might watch it back and then think, aha, well, if that person got it, why can't I get it? And if a few people did that, then it would quickly become quite difficult to manage. But I don't really see that being a thing that will happen. But just in case it does. Oh, I like you too. You're awesome. Oh, no, I was going to try and do a heart, but with one hand. That was terrible. Wait. Where do we get a nice background? Wait, there. No. Yes. A marble heart. 277 backers. Oh my gosh, I've got new backers since this morning. Oh my gosh. Is it cheeky for me to check? I'm going to check. Kickstarter. Modular Realms. Do you know, I've literally made a link command in chat. I could have just pressed the link, couldn't I? But... Okay. Oh, brilliant. I went on my old Kickstarter. Excellent. Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so exciting. Oh, you guys are awesome. Gonna do a Kickstarter update today, I think. I'm gonna do a cross promotion with this other Kickstarter that's going on at the moment that are doing tea time adventures. Yeah, 7k short. So I think we'll get the next stretch goal. I don't know if we'll get the one after. We'll see. The next stretch goal's the jail doors, right? Yeah. Oh, the jail doors are then you get 6 doors with your pledge. That's not terrible. That's quite decent, I reckon. That's enough for a house or a dungeon. That's true. The last 48 hours can switch things around. And I've got a couple of promotions coming out on different Instagram accounts, so we'll see. I sent some terrain to Mark Humes, the DM in the UK, so we'll see. I hope he likes it. It's always nerve-wracking sending terrain to people. Especially, do you know what? It's really nerve-wracking sending terrain to people that you think are really badass and that you watch just in your normal life. Like, the first time I showed my terrain, like, to Rob and asked if he'd be interested for Viva La Dirt League, like, I just watch NPC D&D as a person. Like, I love that show. And I recommend it to all my friends when there's, like, when I'm teaching people about D&D and they say, oh, is there somewhere I can watch it? I usually say, oh, check out NPC D&D because it's short episodes. It's really easy to learn from them. It's a good story. Rob's a DM. And I think that the cutaways make it, like, really accessible for people that struggle with D&D or don't, like, they struggle with the whole using your imagination idea. So it was kind of wild to just be a fan and love it in my life. And then to send them an email and have them reply to the email. Like, that day was so exciting. And then to get to meet Rob and then to actually give them the terrain and then seeing the terrain on stream, like, the amount of excited hugs I gave to different people in the startup studio that day, like, man. Will we be able to pick up different bits individually? Yes. What kind of different bits do you mean? Do you mean like a pack of 10 1x1s or a pack of 10 2x2s? Or are you talking about like just getting individual doors or a whole adventurers pack? What are we... Or individual, like just buying a single tile? How individual are we going? Do you know, I really should stop holding my paint pot off stream. Yeah. And if, by the way, each time I go over here, I'm just adding a bit more water to my brush because I like having a nice wet brush to do the kind of marble so it blurs. Oh yeah, things like doors. You'll be able to get them individually in the Pledge Manager. So one of the things... So Kickstarter has done this thing where you can add add-ons to your pledge. Like creators can do it. I haven't enabled it because I was on a Discord with a load of other Kickstarter creators and they told me that it was buggy AF and that if you do the add-ons on Kickstarter for things like doors, then people are going to have problems where they buy it but you don't get told they bought it, or you get told that they did it as just a donation or things like that, and it can be like a logistical nightmare to sort out afterwards. So what I've done instead is a pledge manager, which is also awesome because it means I can charge 5% less on shipping. So how the pledge manager works is it's basically like an online store. So once the Kickstarter is over and the money gets taken from your account, you get, I think even before the money gets taken from your account. Anyway, I will send everyone an email saying basically, the Pledge Manager's open, here's your private link to it. Then you get linked to the Pledge Manager. In theory, your pledge will automatically be in your cart. I'm having difficulty setting that up at the moment, but I'm gonna call tech support and work it out. And then the idea is once it's added to your cart in the Pledge Manager, you can choose either to add different add-ons. So it'll be like online shopping where you see different products. You can click on them, see the description, see pictures, see the price. If you like them, add them to your cart. And so the doors will be there. Things like 10 packs of 3x3s will probably be there if people want to build larger dungeons. If I do go ahead and make the traps anyway, then the traps will be there. People have asked for a mixed Dungeon Lord pack, so I might even do that. And yeah. Oh, and then shipping gets charged in the Pledge Manager. Because Kickstarter charges like 5% on all transactions and then a further 3% for credit card fees or something. So it's ending up being like I'd have to charge 8% extra on all the shipping if I did it through Kickstarter. But if we do it through the Pledge Manager, then I can keep it a bit cheaper, which is nice because shipping has gone up. It's insane. Like, I have been trying to find reasonable shipping. It's mental. Like, it's so expensive. It's really hard to find reasonable shipping prices. But yeah, so that's another joy of the Pledge Manager, is that I'll be able to do shipping by weight. So if you include... I really need to weigh everything, actually. That's a good point. I'll put that on my list. Where's my pencil? Weigh. Terrain. That's a really good point. But yeah, we'll do everything by weight and by country, hopefully. Not that there'll be that much difference, because I'll probably be using international economy, because that's the cheapest and the only one that I personally could afford if I was doing a Kickstarter, so yeah. And then, yeah, the shipping gets worked out in the Pledge Manager. You pay the shipping there, and then Bob's your badger. You get sent an invoice, and at some point the terrain gets sent out, and I will let everyone know when it's happening. Like, updates, of course, on the Kickstarter, and plus sending people emails. Last time, I sent everyone a personal email when their pledge was being sent out. That was a lot. Like, that was a lot of admin. I also did, when the Kickstarter finished, I sent an email, like, thanking people and confirming their pledge of what we were going to do. And I sent it to, like, 280 people. It was a weekend of emailing, because I, like, thought I'd email every person individually to give them a personal touch. And I was like, oh, yeah, let's do this personal. And I sent everyone an individual email. And, of course, everyone emailed back, because that's what you do. And so I ended up having like 1,000 emails that weekend where we were doing back and forth with everyone. It was a lot, and I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that again. So it might be a copy-paste email being like, this is your order. It will be sent out before this date, and then a bit later being like, this is the date it's being sent out. You know, that style of thing. We'll see. Yeah, it was super intense. Bob's your badger. I don't know if that's an actual phrase. It's something my dad says. Yeah, like everyone else does, exactly. Yeah. I have all these ideas and I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to do this or that. And then I find out, oh no, there's a reason why no one does that. Yeah. Like, oh, the fact that the last campaign I didn't have a pledge manager. And I was like, oh, it's fine. We'll just do it through surveys, and if there's any problems, I'll email people. It'll be fine. And no, that was a terrible idea. There's a reason people use pledge managers, because it makes life easy for the creator, and it makes life easy for the people buying. So, yeah, we have a pledge manager this time. Going to be a lot easier. Plus, it's going to be so nice to have injection molded terrain, because 3D printers are wonderful, and that's how the business started. So I'm never gonna like badmouth a 3D printer. Well, actually no, I have a 3D printer in the living room right now that's not working, so I will badmouth him. He sucks. But normally 3D printers are awesome, but not when you scale up. So when I was doing a pledge before, and I was like, you know, to make a Dungeon Lord pack, it takes 3 days. And I was like, that's a long time, but it's not, you know, I set the printer up and then I go away. So it's not that much hands-on time. But it is, because you don't just set up the printer and go away. Then you've got to do maintenance on the printer and fix it, and you can't have them running 24/7. And then when the parts were made, I was inserting all the magnets by hand, gluing every single magnet by hand. Terrible idea. Never again. So it was a lot. And now we've got the injection molding. It's beautiful. It's like the most beautiful machine. I'm a nerd for machines anyway, but it's so beautiful. And then it just puts, and out it comes, out it comes. And then there's a conveyor belt, which I'm very excited about. I was talking about it earlier. Conveyor belts, guys. And then the magnets get in, and then it gets put together by a machine. there's gonna be a machine, you guys. It's so cool. So actually, it's not going to be made by hand anymore, which is wonderful. So I can scale up a lot easier. So people are buying different add-ons and things in the Pledge Manager, not going to be limited anymore because we don't have to. Which also is really nice if you want to go to retail or going into game shops. That would be so cool. Can you imagine seeing it on the shelf in a game shop? That'd be mental. That would be mental. Yeah, that's my dream, is to one day go into a game shop and see Modular Realms terrain on the shelf and just be like, that's that. There will be Octopoid. At some point there definitely will be. Either through my online store, which will at some point be opened, I swear to God it will. Yes, exactly. Online store. Online store is a lot easier because you don't have to have physical premises and things. But I love local friendly game shops, so if we had a local game friendly, you know what I'm trying to say, local friendly game, oh my gosh, I can't speak, you know, a game shop, that would be cool. We'll see. Future plans. But first, before we even think about, well, not before we think about, but before we do any steps towards retail, definitely all the Kickstarter packs need to go out first. Flugs. I'll just say flugs. Everyone knows what flugs means, right? That's normal acronyms. Wow. Would you believe that I'm a native English speaker? Because honestly, I wouldn't. Oh, I'm painting behind my face again, aren't I? Let's change that. Tell you what, let's just spin everything around, because why not? There we go. Yeah, before we even think of retail, I mean, it's got to go in the hands of all the Kickstarter backers because you guys are the best. And plus, that's how it works and that's how it should work. I get really annoyed. Have you ever done that thing where you back a Kickstarter and you're waiting years to get it and then you see it on, like, in a game shop or on a shelf in a store and you think, I could have got it quicker if I'd done this. So I don't want to be that person because that really annoys me. I don't know why. It shouldn't annoy me as much as it does, but it does. Oh yeah, no, it's the edges of the square. I'm totes professional. I have a green screen, you guys. But it's also really terrible. Like, it's basically, I don't know if you can hear, that's tent material. So it's not actually that good at filtering out green. And it's also a really dark green screen. It's one of those ones where you buy it online and you're like, oh yeah, that looks great. And then it arrives and you're like, really? That colour? You chose that colour for a green screen? Who makes a green screen out of khaki? Like, But that's what I have, so at some point I will probably get another one if I keep streaming, because this is fun. Yeah. But until then, yes, we have to deal with this weird frame around me. It also doesn't help. I know lighting is meant to help with the green screen, and my windows face north. No, they face south, but because I'm in the southern hemisphere, it's like facing north, so you don't get as much sunlight. So, yeah, exactly. And this green screen really was, like, I did not spend a fortune on it. Like, embarrassingly little, so I really shouldn't complain. Should we make it that way or this way? Let's do that way. Why not? Eh? I'll put a bit of water on there. It's not dreadful. Yeah, I like it. Just thinking, that one where I put loads and loads of wash on that bit, that's going to take ages to dry. That's not super practical for a stream, is it? And the other thing is, the last step when I'm doing the marble painting is I usually, for the last step, spray it with a clear varnish. Again, just a Bunnings special. Really cheap one, but the point is it makes it like slightly shiny. Not so shiny that it's, looks tacky, but it's enough that it gives it just that slight polished marble look. And it also has the added benefit that none of the paint washes off or brushes off in time, which is great if you're using cheap paints. So that I'll probably have to do after stream and just put a picture up, because I'm not going to do spray painting in my room. Like, I've tried it. Well, I had a spray can in my pocket that I forgot about and put those jeans in the wash. But they never actually got to the wash. They were in the linen bin. And I put some more clothes over the top and it kind of pressed on the nozzle. And I hadn't realised. And I woke up and I was like, my room stinks of solvents. What is going on? And I could not work it out until I went to do my washing. And I found that all my jeans were sprayed bright luminescent pink. It was very sad. Very sad. But actually, I made some really awesome jeans out of it, so not that sad. Oh, hello. I've gone quite thick on this colour again. Never mind. We'll just add a wee bit of water. When doing the stone walls, colours first and then black wash. Oh! So, do you know, maybe I'll do walls. Maybe I'll do another stream with some walls, because I got some walls that I haven't painted. I tend to prime those grey. Again, another Bunnings special, like just the basic grey primer. Flat grey, because, of course. Well, I say of course. I learnt that the hard way, so it's not of course. Or at least wasn't for me. So I do a flat grey primer. Then I tend to use like another cheap acrylic grey and just sponge it on top, like a slightly lighter one. Just enough to give it a bit of texture and lift the top tiles a bit. In fact, we've got some that are midway through painting at the moment here. So these have had the primer and then the grey put on top, the lighter grey. And then I tend to pick out individual bricks. So usually at the points where they join, so the bricks are made so that they always go over the edge. It's a sort of seamless effect. And so, where are some 1x1s? That is the question. Here we go. So there are certain bricks that are like always the corners. So I always like to colour those a different... Oh, now they're slightly pink, never mind. I always like to colour those a different colour for some reason, just because... I don't know why. That's just something I like to do. But, no, I mean, you do you, boo. And then I put a darker grey wash over the top just to really sink into it. But I do like just picking out one or two individual bricks, just in a slight colour or wash over the top. I don't know. I think it makes it look a bit more natural. Ah! Yeah. The water is like super solid. Like this would be a piece of water, it's just plastic water. Deep, it's like 1 millimetre deep as plastic, which isn't that deep. But the point is that being 1 millimetre deep and 2 millimetres off the base is just nice for the light to go through it, and sort of the way the top of the plastic is slightly rippled, the light goes through and makes those ripple reflections on the bottom. So you know how, like in swimming pools and things, you get the light refracting and lighting the bottom of it? It does the same thing on the riverbeds. So, yeah, that was the rivers. If you wanted to add waterweed or fish, I think it would be. I've definitely had things like a spear or a sword under there, where it's been, sunken deep into the pond or the river for the longest time. Fish you could definitely do if they're like super, super tiny. Nothing that's bigger than 2 millimetres high or 3 millimetres high. Once you get to that, you'd start to struggle. So weed and flock, easy peasy. Fish, I'm not entirely sure. I'll try that one day. I do, oh, you know those trap tiles? I made one to look like a fish pond, and that I did put fish in. It doesn't really show well on the camera. Go on. Come on, pick it up. Autofocus. Come on, I believe in you. Yeah, there we go. See? And we have some little fish in there, some ponds, some pondweed even, gravel on the bottom. Doesn't actually look that good on camera. I swear to you, it genuinely looks nicer in person, but you'll have to trust me on that. Oh yeah, I love... See, the traps are my favourite, which is why there's a very good chance that I might just make a mould for the traps, even if we don't get to that stretch goal, because I love them to pieces. Wait, hang on. Oh no, you've started me now. I'm going to start showing you all the different things. Where's the... Oh yeah. I mean, there's the space sort of spacey look. Like, hey, galaxies! Which is kind of nice, because the terrain, I'm pretty sure you could use it for sci-fi things, and that could be like the portal on a ship looking out into space. I don't really play many... Well, I don't play any sci-fi games, so I'm not super sure, but I'm pretty sure you could. I also have an acid trap with a lovely little fellow skeleton trapped in the acid. Oh! Yes! They would. That is a great idea. Yes. Yes. Flat fish stickers would definitely work. Or like little squidged bits of paper that you then to give it like the roundness or something like that definitely could work. You know, I had a really disgusting sort of fleshy hole that I made as one of those traps. Where is it? It was so disgusting. Damn it. Yeah, we'll have to show you another time. It's like the grossest thing ever. You know when you do something and you're like, oh, that's really cool. And then later you kind of go back to it and you're like, but also, like my mind created that. I get that in D&D campaigns a lot actually sometimes. Like, especially when I'm doing the big bad evil guy and I'm thinking of his plans and what he'd do and all of that jazz, and then he ends up doing some really weird stuff, or like, not weird because it makes sense, but like morally ambiguous, or not even that ambiguous, morally dodgy stuff. And then I think, oh no, that came from my mind. Oh no. Oh, does it? Oh, well, there you go. There you go. So you've already seen the star portal. But the disgusting fleshy hole. No. If I find it, I'll put it up there. Up there, even. It's the other side. Yeah. Man, this is so fun. And like, so nice. What do we reckon? I think that might... Oh, should we do a little bit extra pink on those chaps? They're looking a little bit under the weather, aren't they? Should we... Oh, maybe not. Not so keen on that. That's fine. We'll blur it. We'll blur it. That's what water's for. That's why we use water paints or acrylic paints. There you go. Now it doesn't look so bad. Yeah, I know. It's the trouble with streams, isn't it? That you just start, like... You get caught up in them. Because sometimes I have streams on in the background when I'm, like, designing things or doing CAD, or when... Actually, when I'm painting, I often have streams on. But maybe I'll change that to me being a streamer. But I often watch streams when I'm doing, like, non-wordsy work. Oh, hey, Mayday! How you doing? Yeah, exactly. They're always on when you work. And, like, I don't know why. It's just never quite the same being VOD Squad. That said, I'm very often VOD Squad. But, you know. But yeah, I like to have streams as sort of background, you know, like a co-working, so you feel like you're in an office or something like that. There's like background noise and things like that. If I was to redo the rivers, would you be doing other surface terrain as well? Or caverns? As the have to go somewhere suitable. Oh, asking the good questions. Why did I not have rivers within easy reach? Why did I not do this? But the rivers I did as a plain, basically this texture. Mainly because you can cover them in grass and different textures like that. Actually, I've got some grass, you know, the kind of grass paper stuff you get, the flat paper with astroturf on top. And basically I like that because you can just stick it on top and it takes about all of 2 minutes. And everyone, I swear to you, everyone goes, wow, that's so good. That looks so professional. You must have tried really hard. Or, wow, like, oh no, it took 5 minutes. I just glued it on. So it's really good with this texture because you can just like drive it a little bit down the creases and then you get the slight grid effect so you can see it, but it's not so obvious that it doesn't look like grass anymore. I'm not describing this well. But yeah, so that's why I did that texture for the rivers, because then you could do grassy ones, but if you were doing caverns, you can just paint it to look like rock, or, you know, sandstone or something like that. So I could do other textures with the rivers. I'm not entirely sure if that would be a good idea, though, because for one thing, it would cost a lot of money to do extra textures. Like, moulds are so expensive. Like, so expensive. I'm not entirely sure if I meant to say how expensive they are or not. Like, I don't know if that's a trade secret or something. Just Google how expensive injection moulding is. It's mental. Okay. What kind of floor is it? A new kebab shop? That is brave. Starting a kebab shop, like, now. Starting any sort of hospitality business now is incredibly brave. Gosh, power to them. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, but I mean, you said it was a new kebab shop, no? Or just new to you? Maybe it's just new to you. Polyurethane resins. Oh, they're cool. I like resin. I play a lot with resin sometimes. You could do a really badass floor with resin. Do you do, like, awesome, like, marbled floors and things? Oh, I love a good kebab me. Oh, we have a really nice kebab shop that opened, like, 6 months ago. And they do such good kebabs. One of my friends, Ardalan... Oh, I probably shouldn't have said his name. One of my friends is from... I never know how much... Do you know what? I'm going to stop that story just because I want to respect people's privacy, and I never know how much people are comfortable with me saying. So, basically, TLDR, one of my friends introduced me to the most amazing kebab shop recently, and it does food from the region that he's from, and he said it was pretty authentic, and it is so good. And they opened just around the corner. Ah, nice. Oh, that's cool. So, polyurethane flooring. Yeah, it is. So how do you actually do polyurethane flooring? Do you put concrete down and then just pour polyurethane on top? Like, how does it work? Teach me. If you have time. Sorry, just in the middle of the day when you're meant to be working. Stop working. Come and teach this random streamer how to do polyurethane flooring. Yeah, I can imagine it'd be expensive. I see You know, people have those badass tables with like rivers cut out and then they put polyurethane in there. I really want to do one of those at some point. I do fancy doing a forest with giant trees. I really want to. So the curved floors, unfortunately I only have 2 halves here, but I think these would make excellent platforms, and you could have like a massive tree trunk, and then you put this in, and then the next bit of the tree trunk going up. You can have different size platforms around the trees, and then with the magnets, you can have like, you could even make magnetic bridges between the trees, or, you know, have pillars or whatever to hold them up, or just do wires or something like that. But yeah, I am a fan of big trees. I want to do that because that would be cool and elvish. I want to make Lothlorien. I didn't know you could do polyurethane cement. That's so cool. That's so cool. I love learning things. Nice. To form the falls to the drains. Interesting. Yeah, so they can hose it all out. That makes a great deal of sense. See, at some point I would like to have a workshop, and I'm thinking of the flooring because I do a lot of resin work when I'm prototyping things, because, you know, if you don't go straight to injection molding, you do a lot of 3D printing, and I've got a resin printer. And I'm not like the most tidy person. I often spill resin. And so I've been thinking of some sort of floor that can be, you know, hosed down, or... No, probably hosed down, let's be honest. So that's interesting. Yeah. 6mm is not that thick, really, when you think about it. It's amazing that it's that strong. Oh, I'd love that. I'd love that for the next Kickstarter. I want to do buildings because I just love, with houses and things, when you can just snap, 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 put the roof on, Bob's your badger, you have like a house and it takes no time. Or when you're making a tower or something and then you can just take a wall out to see inside and all of that jazz. So I had been thinking, I'd love to do cities or whatever. But I really want to do tree houses. I really want tree houses. I want like stairs going around the trunk. Actually, I want stairs that you can magnetically clip to go around the trunk. I want carved out trees. I want platforms. And I want modular trees so you can change them out. I have so many ideas for that. I have so many ideas for everything. There is literally not enough time in the world. Not as interesting, but infinitely more useful, and useful for making tiles. That's cool. Okay, just before we go on to like the last sort of splodge, I'm just going to see if there's any areas that I want to darken up with a little bit of extra red. What do you reckon? I think we might just do a bit there. Yeah. Maybe this one, actually. This one looks like he could be very happy if he was a bit darker. Yeah, we'll make... And we'll just do a bit of water to smudge it out. Oh yeah, hello. And we'll do a bit darker there. Oh, this is the coolest thing ever. And we'll put a bit darker there. Yes, we will. Do you know, I'm going to smudge that a little bit too. That's true. You can. But then, see, this is the thing I found with the rivers, is I thought, you can't get rivers where you can take out the water, and you can't get rivers where you replace it with ice or replace it with lava. And I was like, you know, that's not available elsewhere, so I'll make it, and then haha. But it does turn out that maybe it's not available elsewhere because there's less demand for it, so less people want to buy it. So I definitely want to do a poll at the end of the Kickstarter, because I want to see what people actually want and want the most. And sometimes what people want the most isn't going to be the most technically exciting thing to make. But that's okay. I can just design technically exciting things in my free time. Or find a way to make them technically exciting. Like the houses, they are completely flat pack. We are not having this triangle roof nonsense where it takes up so much room. Hang on. Wait, I can see a rooftop. Wait. I don't have a roof triangle within me, but like the idea is all the roofs, everything flat packs. And well, this doesn't work without the rest of the house. It's quite difficult to build a house out of just a roof. But, you know, there we go. Here's an unpainted triangle. No, other way around, because you need to see it. It just... Do you know what? It just snaps magnetically onto it. So then it's like super flat pack. And then, yeah, doesn't take up so much space in the room. I'm not the most tidy person. Yeah, those are the buildings from the... Yeah, there you go, actually. Good point. So all of those buildings up there are entirely flat pack. They just go into one big shoebox. It really is a sexy word if you're flatting or sharing a house. Then it's like, oh, flat pack. Oh, did you say easy to store? Oh, hello. Hi. Yeah. The buildings you can see are from the first Kickstarter, when I was 3D printing everything and just testing out to see what was exciting. They're not available at the moment because I don't have molds for them, and yeah, I'm not 3D printing anything except a few very special things like the Dirt League house at the moment, just because time. But I really want to do them again just because I think flat pack buildings is so good, and being able to like layer them up. So what was a house, and then you take the roof off and put another house on top, and now you have a double-story house. Or you take the roof off and put another house on top, and oh my god, you have a three-story tower. It's so nice and easy, and then being able to take the walls out, and then yeah. But actually, to be fair, I do. Yeah. Sorry, I just saw Octopoid's comment about IKEA wardrobes. We don't have IKEA here. It's very sad. I miss IKEA. Not that much, but, you know, a bit. I was in the Assassin's Guild when I was at university, and I remember for one of our society things, we went to IKEA and we played hide and seek through all the different, you know, showrooms and things. It was the most ridiculous fun. So IKEA will always have a special place in my heart afterwards. But what I was going to say is, we're building the houses and things. What's a tile that isn't like super wet? Or, you know what, I could just move them, couldn't I? I could do this. This is within my power. I'm just going to move those off to the side so I can show you. Okay. So, and sorry, by the way, these, I haven't finished painting these, so they're a bit rough around the edges and look a bit naff, but we'll survive. So for building a house, where's a little... There we go. You can sort of build... Like, I'm not going to pretend it's the best house you've ever seen, but equally, it's not the worst. And you can get... So now it's like multiple stories. And if you want to keep building, you can do. And now we have a 2-level house. It's decent. Let's see. Does it take the weight of minis? Well, no, I know it takes the weight of minis. The question is how many minis. Goodness, this is a terrible place to be, isn't it? A tiny room with no exit and 100 mummies. But there you go. Ugh. But yeah, it takes the weight of minis pretty well. Like, I wouldn't want to poke it too hard, but you can definitely play a game on there because generally you're not trying to push it down. And you can keep building up. Obviously, it's not as good as if I haven't, because I hadn't actually designed it to do that. This was more a happy accident. I've got an idea of how I'd like to do buildings when I do them again, which will be compatible with this system, but isn't quite this system. But actually very compatible with this system. Yeah. How much weight do we think it can carry? What should we put on there? I've got a goblet. No, that's too small. Too large even. That'll go over the edge. What's heavy? Okay, we've got a thing of paint. That is, what, 150 grams? There we go. A thing of paint. No! That doesn't survive me moving it. So it can take 150 grams, but not if I wobble it around, it seems. So, you know. But minis don't tend to weigh as much as that. Or at least not the resin ones, I don't think. Do I have a big resin? Oh, I've got a giant. She's not painted yet, but I'll survive. Okay, it can take a giant. You know. And that's only with 3 walls, not with 4. But yeah, I didn't originally design it to do that, but I think you can build relatively decent towers and rooms, should you so desire, with these chaps. And actually, one of the new things that I've started doing that I'm super in love with is making, what do you call it? Little bridges and things. So, like, you can't really see, can you? So it's like you can have ground floors and then have raised walkways and bridges, and I really like having maps of different levels and having raised bits, because it's just nice to have different levels. Like, I find it a lot more fun. It's a lot more fun for the gameplay to have, you know, shooting down with an arrow or trying to fight upwards. And yeah, so I've started doing that quite a lot recently, which I quite like. Yeah. Yes, windows, doors, stairs. I mean, doors we're getting, but we'll get also, in the future, I would like to do doors that are part of walls. Man, I have so many things on my list that I want to do. It's insane. Oops, daisies. Okay, let's actually get back to doing the thing I meant to do. So, now here's the question to you guys. I was going to dab another, you know, pale grey or pale white over the top to sort of blend it a bit more. I'm kind of tempted to leave it as it is. But it's not too dark down the edges. What do you reckon? Another layer, or like dab it for another layer, or leave it as it is? Maybe. What do we think? Get some coffee. Oh, it's cold again. Well, yeah, I don't think it needs it. Yeah, maybe a wash along the lines, I agree. Do one and see. You know, that is very wise. That is very wise. I will do this. Do one and see. Which one should we do? You look relatively dry. Let's do you. Okay, I'm going to go back to the kind of cheap acrylic mixed with water wash that I made earlier. Just give it a little bit of a shake to, yeah, mix it up. Oh my god, I just realised, because I'm talking and then I'm not seeing a reply for like 30 seconds or something, and I was thinking, I wonder, like, are they just not hearing me? No, it's lag. It's stream lag. This, I have to deal with that all the time. I hate stream lag. That's brilliant. I'm on the other side now. This is no, this is not my cold coffee. Oh man. If I keep doing these streams... Yes, and it takes time to type. This is so true. I've had all these problems being on the other side, like being someone in chat. This is very reassuring to be a streamer and knowing, you know, I know this pain. If I do keep streaming, which, to be honest, I'm very tempted to, I think there's a good chance I'll be drinking a lot of coffee/paint water on stream. I think that's going to be a thing. Oh, that's so cool! Okay, ham. Gah! Oh, that was the most ridiculous thing. I love it. Yeah, about 5 seconds, I'd say. That's really not that bad. I don't know what I'm complaining about. I know, it's mental. Like, sorry, I'm just replying to Flight of Wyverns. It's so cool that we can talk from the other side of the world. Like, and you can see what I'm doing in real time, which is just awesome. It's, yeah. Can you imagine, like, one of my relatives back in the, like, I don't know, 40s, 50s, emigrated to Australia from the UK. And I think that must have been one of the most, like, difficult and incredible things, because they didn't have Skype and letters took like 6 months to arrive. That's gotta be... God, people back in the day when they did that. Damn. Like, wow. Yeah, I'm lucky. I moved to the other side of the world, but I have Skype and WhatsApp, so I can keep up with my family. Yeah. The only thing is, I will say that being on the other side of the world, sometimes I don't reply to messages as much as I should, which... No, to be fair, that's an Annabelle problem. That's not a New Zealand problem. I would not reply to messages as often as I should, even if I was in the room next door. I'm terrible at it, so... Yeah, actually. Hull to Brisbane, yeah. I know, it's just, like... You know how sometimes people do things and you just think... That's incredible. Like, that is an incredible, brave thing to do. Like, wow. And I think emigrating back in the day, like, because I sort of emigrated. I mean, I'm not permanently New Zealander. I don't have the right visa, for one thing. But moving to the other side of the world, you know, without family, without friends... just you, and being like, let's see what happens. Like, that was terrifying. And I did that when I had Skype, and I had WhatsApp, and I had Zoom, and I could instantly call my parents. So, the people that did it back in the day, wow, man. Normal is very subjective. Yes, my normal was not other people's normal. Very much not, and I'm happy to have it that way. Sorry, I've just read your message, Flight of Wyverns. Wow, I'd never thought of that as in one lifetime. That's amazing. That's so cool. That must be quite nerve-wracking. Like, to live in a world that's changing so much. Mind you, we are living in a world that's changing so much. Maybe we should all be nerve-wracked. Like, yeah, especially with the rise of the internet. Yeah. But, like, that's such a change from horse-drawn transport to, and 2 world wars. Yeah, see, that's one thing, is when I get really sad about COVID or, like, worried about it, or, you know how, like, sometimes your brain catastrophizes things, especially if you have anxiety, like, you're like, COVID? Is this the end of the world? Are we all going to die? Am I never seeing my family again? Oh my god. But then I remember, World War. There were 2 world wars within, like, what was it? It was 1914 and 1938, so that's... Hang on, I can do maths. Wait. 24 years. Yes. Within 24 years of each other. Yes, well done. Look at that. Basic mental maths. Like, that must have really felt like the end of the world to them, or like everything was coming apart. And then the threat of the Cold War right after it. Yeah, occupied. I've octopoid even. I hadn't thought of it. I hadn't really... I'm sure it crossed my mind, but I don't think I'd ever really, like, actually thought about the technological, like, what it would be like living in that change in technological advancements. But yeah. But yeah, so when I'm, like, a little bit down about COVID or whatever, I do tend to think, but, like, our grandparents or great-grandparents, they lived through 2 world wars where people were conscripted to fight. Like, imagine that. Imagine, like... See, when I was a kid, when I learnt about World War II, I used to have nightmares that it would happen again, and my brother would be conscripted, and I wouldn't be, because women weren't conscripted. And I always thought how dreadful it would be to have someone you love be sent off to the front lines with no choice. And you couldn't go, you couldn't be there, they were just gone. So, really, COVID, it's not as bad as that. Like, you know, we're staying at home. I'm in level 4 lockdown, which is like the worst lockdown in our country. And I'm sat here drinking coffee, chatting with you guys, having a lovely day painting. Like, yeah, exactly. It's not that bad. We sit at home and we don't have to worry about our homes being bombed. Like, really, we're okay. And it will have huge repercussions on mental health. And I'm sure there's going to be an epidemic of anxiety amongst people for the next few years. But it's more understood now. Whereas back then they'd say, oh, they're shell-shocked. But there wasn't, like, really good mental health access. It was a lot harder to get a therapist. It wasn't widely accepted. So I feel like we're in definitely a better position now. Because we have these things that they didn't before. And, yeah. I don't know. I think the world wars are just crazy when you think. But what's really crazy is that it's still happening. Like, stuff like that, just because it's not happening to us. Oh, really? Oh my gosh. Thank you, I learnt something. Yeah, see, I'm British, so I just thought, no, they weren't. Oh, there you go. I don't know if I'd enjoy being... I wouldn't mind being like an engineer for... Well, no, I wouldn't actually enjoy being an engineer because I don't like the idea of killing people, and I don't like the idea of something I made killing people. I don't know, I wouldn't... Oh, wow! I bet she's got some really cool stories. That's so cool. So interesting. Yeah. See, I always find world wars just fascinating how people came together. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's so cute. I love that. Can you send me the link, Otelicat? That's so cute. Radar operator and AA gunner. Oh, that's cool. I mean, wow, what a responsibility. Man, it's amazing how people step up in those times, though. Like, it's really lovely. I remember when COVID first happened, there was the PPE crisis because, yes, thank you, governments, for not stockpiling the PPE you said you were going to stockpile. I get quite annoyed about this because, anyway. But having a background in chemistry and having, of course, I just bought a load of 3D printers because I was starting Modular Realms. So I put Modular Realms on hold to be making PPE for different people and sending it out to doctors and such. And I think it was one of the most beautiful and hopeful things that I've ever done, was being part of that group of people. Because we spoke with doctors, with district health boards, with business managers, even some people in the government, like, to find out what people needed where the proper channels just weren't taking up what they needed to be doing. So we were making, homemade face shields or face masks, and speaking to doctors and really having all these hobbyists, all these people with printers in their living rooms, just coming together and working. And I used so much filament and I lost so much time and money, and I know other people lost so much more, but they were just coming together because there was a crisis and we could help. And if you can help, that's what you do. And I think it was one of the most lovely things. It was such a privilege to be part of that and see that, and to see the beauty and the good that people do oh my god, I get so sentimental about things that make me happy. It's really annoying. But yes, I find things like that just so incredibly nice and helpful. So in that way, I'm glad that I was there for that part of COVID, because I think that showed me something about humanity that made me hopeful and happy. Oh, wow! Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. Oh, well, there you go. Living in his workshop. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. It's great, though. I love it. Yeah. It's so cool. And the other thing is, one thing that came out of a lot of the world wars that we often don't think about is there were a lot of technological advancements that came from it. And things that led to cell phones or having well, the first computer is probably the biggest one, Turing. That was huge. And I wonder what's the huge technological advancements that are going to come out of COVID. And maybe it's not going to be technology as much as it's going to be medicinal things. Is there going to be a new way of making vaccines or a new way of collaborating? Because so many different people come together and are working on COVID. There are networks of scientists from all over the world that would normally be rivals that all started working together because they were like, this thing's dodgy, we gotta, be a team for this. And I wonder, all these conversations that would never normally happen between chemists and biochemists, between the physicists, between even the astrophysicists or astrobiologists that do wildly different kinds of chemistry, there's going to be so many people talking about COVID and all talking about this one event and sharing ideas that just doesn't happen normally. And I wonder what amazing medical advancements are going to come out of it that we might not even see for another decade, but are caused because of everyone working together. And I'm really excited about that, to be honest. Oh, not that cool. Oh! Oh no, that's so sad. Oh, that's not cool if you had to do that. Oh, that's not cool if it's not a choice. Yeah. That could be a bit intense. Oh, I should have said I decided to put the grey in all the cracks. It's just I'll try this on one. Started talking, ended up doing it on all of them. That's fine. Do you know, we'll do this one last one, and then I think we might even say that's it for the marble, and I'll just do a cheeky shiny prime on top. Yes! Yes, I think you did. And I mean, it's not the sort of stream that people are just going to be listening to and not watching because it's a painting stream. But if you are, I have now put a wash in most of the cracks on all the pieces. Do you know, I reckon we might... Oh, hello. Hang on. There you go. I hadn't done it in all the cracks where there's a line between the tiles. And one other thing is sometimes when you're doing line work like that, you get... Oh, you can kind of see it on this tile, actually. Let's see if we can... Come on, focus. I believe in you. Yeah, there we go. So you see how that has a line there from where my paintbrush went through it? Yeah, that always annoys me. So that's why when I'm doing a line like this, I'm just going like that over the top to just wipe off any excess that went over the top of the tile. Just because personally that annoys me. And then, yeah. Man, this has been so much fun. And look at that, we're pretty much dead on three hours. So, that is pretty excellent. To be honest, you could probably do this all yourselves a lot quicker than I've done it, if you're not, talking to chat and whatnot. But this is awesome. I've loved this so much, you guys. Hey! Ooh, we could do a cheeky close-up. Yeah! Although, now you'll see all my mistakes in high definition. Yeah. So that's a paler one. And let's go for a dark... Ooh, this one. I like this one. It's got some darker bits. Probably, if I was to do it again, I might make the dark lines a little bit lighter. We'll see. Or maybe I'd do... Or maybe I'd leave it as it is, because I always do this. I always afterwards go, Yeah. Oh, I'll just show you the other side, because I was playing around with doing a sort of Egyptian theme. So this is the flagstones, Egyptian-like, or... some sort of hotter area. Like, it was trying to be a sort of sandstone, and then this is just a sort of normal flagstone with some moss in the cracks or whatever. Yeah. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it for the painting today. I'm going to let these dry, and then I'm going to do a clear varnish over the top. Look at a range of marble images online. I will do this afterwards. I will do this. Yeah. So I'm going to do a clear varnish after the stream, and then I'll put a picture somewhere, maybe in the Kickstarter update or in the mailing list, because I will be sending out the mailing list later. I just need to finish writing it. But for now, shall we go raid Rob? I'm so excited to raid Rob. This is going to be the coolest thing ever. I'm so excited. Oh, if you don't know who Rob is, by the way, because I've just been assuming everyone does, but that's probably not fair. If you don't know who Rob is an amazing GM from New Zealand. He is a total badass, a maths nerd as well, which is nice. He's an actor. Oh, he wrote D&D Logic, which is coming out soon. That, I'm so looking forward to it. It's basically a skit series about D&D. It's going to be so badass, and the production quality is... So, if you're not following Rob, go follow Rob. He's awesome. And yeah, let's go raid him. Hartley GM. It is Robert Hartley GM, right? Let's see if we're doing it. This is going to be so exciting. My first raid, you guys. Also, thank you for coming. Wait, let's see if it raids. Yes! Oh my god! Okay, thank you for coming, you guys. I didn't realise I didn't have that long to say goodbye, so I'm going to try and say goodbye really, really quickly before the timer runs out. Oh no! Oh, hang on, I can press to raid. I thought I had to raid before the little bar went down. Oh my god. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye in a slightly more calm manner, and let's go raid Rob. Thank you guys for coming. You are the absolute best. I love you to pieces. Have amazing days, evenings, mornings, nights, and see you soon. And thank you for being badasses. Toodle pip.